Well, a few months back, our friend, music agent, writer, and musician Bob Jensen dropped by to tell us about a political song he'd written, a song with a message to share, and how he was hoping to enlist other musicians to help in the sharing of that message. Well, when Bob puts his mind to something, he gets results. So he's back with us here on Main Street to talk more about that collaborative musical effort and to share the finished product. Hi, Bob.
Hey, good afternoon, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing well. Always love talking with you. And maybe you can remind us of the message that you wanted to share in this song, which is called Which Side Are You On?
Yeah, sure. And before I do that, I should also say that the song was actually written by Florence Reese in 1931. So what we've done is we've released an updated version with lyrics that reflect what's going on, mostly politically in the world today. So anybody who turns the TV on can see that there's been a hard shift to the right politically. We see hate groups are emboldened. We see democratic institutions like elections being called into question. We see women's rights being eroded. And so all of these things I find deeply troubling. And so, I kind of cut my teeth listening to some of the old folk singer-songwriters, protest singer-songwriters like Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger. And it was a friend of mine, actually, who suggested that the song was ripe for a rewrite. And I thought, we should do that. I should do it. And we'll have it reflect what's happening politically in the world right now. So we wanted to put out a message about what's happening and hopefully stimulate some discussion. We want to get people talking about what's going on. We want to get people thinking about what side they're on and what they're going to do about it. And that could be anything from, simply speaking up when maybe it's a little uncomfortable to do so. It could be voting, writing a letter to the editor, protesting. So we want to address what's happening and send a message around the world. We're going to do that by sending this song on September 26th to approximately 5,000 radio stations in 30 countries, and we also have publicists who are going to be helping us in Australia, Canada, and England. So it's quite a big concerted effort.
And we're really grateful that we're able to share the song today, Bob, that you're allowing us to have a preview. And we can't list everyone who got involved with this, but at the time we were talking a few months ago, you were saying how excited you were that there was a possibility that Bruce Cockburn and Ani DeFranco would sign on. That ended up happening. They're part of this song. What does that mean to you, Bob?
Oh, it was just a thrill of a lifetime. I've been listening to Bruce Cockburn for 45 years, and he's one of a very small handful of artists who I've listened to consistently through my whole life. And I think of him not only as a great Canadian artist, but as just one of the great artists of his kind in the world. His songs were always about ideas, whether they were political or spiritual. So to invite him to be on a recording with me and to have him agree to it, that was a tremendous thrill. And also, Ani DeFranco, certainly one of the most respected protest singers in America, a Grammy Award winner, highly respected artist. So, I'm just thrilled to death. When I started putting this thing together, I didn't envision anything like this. I just thought, well, I'm going to record the song. I'll do it. Yeah. And then I thought, well, I'll see maybe if James Keelaghan would like to get involved. And I called him, and he said, yeah, sure, I'd love to. And then I started asking more people, and they all were saying yes. And then all of a sudden, there were 16 of us from 6 countries on 4 continents, some really great folk roots artists from all over the world. So it kind of took a life of its own. I'm thrilled, and I'm incredibly grateful that these people agreed to do this and that they just trusted me. And we've got something important to say, I think.
And we'll hear that song, and there's also a video that accompanies this as well. People get to see the faces of all these many artists who collaborated with you, and some other faces as well, people who are just sharing in on the message. So how did that video come together, Bob? I understand people just kind of sent their own clips to you?
Yeah, I thought, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to need a video. But we had no budget for a video, none. So I thought, well, I'm just going to ask the artists if they would send clips in of them, singing and performing in the studio. And as I mentioned last time we spoke, the artists all worked for free and paid their own studio costs. So anyway, the artists started sending in clips. And then I thought, well, we should get people from all walks of life involved. So I started talking to people all over the world about sending in clips. So in addition to the musicians, we have a retired construction worker, we have a political activist, we have a scientist. People from all walks of life were sending in clips. And Brooks Diamond, the promoter from Halifax, was helping me with some advice and encouragement, and he wanted to get involved, seeing if he could help to bring some people to the table for the video. So it was Brooks who put me in contact with somebody in Ukraine, and that's how we got that really cool clip of the musician on the burnt-out tank.
Yeah.
And Brooks also brought Rick Mercer to the table, which was fantastic. He's such a high-profile Canadian artist. And then it was a Sunday morning, and I had my earbuds in, and I was listening to April Wine as I was puttering around the house when my cell phone rang, and it was Brooks. And he said, Bob, what about Miles Goodwin from April Wine? Would you like me to ask him? And I started going to April Wine concerts in the early 70s. I saw them 8 times, including when they opened for the Rolling Stones in Buffalo in 1978. So
wow.
I was a big fan, and I said, geez, yeah, I'd love to have Miles Goodwin. So within a couple hours, he contacted me. He loved the project, and as we were talking, he said, Rob Wells is a good friend of mine, Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys.
Right.
Would you like me to ask Rob if he'd want to participate? And I said, absolutely, would love to have him. So then an hour or two later, Rob Wells was in touch, and he was also really keen to get involved and sent a nice little clip. And, it's just an example of how the project at times would take on a life of its own. I'm just really pleased with how the video turned out. I think when you watch it, when you see people from 5 continents, from all walks of life who all have the same message, hopefully that's a strong message. Hopefully that's going to resonate with people.
Bob, I'm wondering what you feel the role of protest music is now. There are a lot of loud voices out there. There's a lot of social media, a lot of conflict and disparity. What kind of role do you hope a song like this plays in the mix of all of that?
Well, when I worked with people like Bruce Cockburn and Johnny Clegg and Pete Seeger, and I got close to those people for a very brief time, I got an insight into what they do and how they do it and why they do it, and it made me realize that a song can be a very powerful thing, that a song can change minds, that a song can bring an issue in front of the public where maybe it wasn't being addressed by the media. So it's in that tradition again that we do this, that we send this out, and I hope that, first of all, that the message will reach a large audience around the world, and I hope that maybe it might inspire some other people to do something similar. God knows there are plenty of issues right now around the world that need addressing. I don't know, I guess I would see it as, some people from the folk music community trying to carry on that long and I think noble tradition of raising issues and trying to get people thinking, trying to get people talking, and of course, most importantly of all, trying to get people to participate, because we all have a voice.
And Bob, this collection of musicians you've brought together, what are you known as if people are looking to find this single?
Well, we're calling the group Artists for Action.
Well, let's hear that song now, Bob. Bob Jensen, always good to talk with you. Thank you so much. And as you said, this song is being released next week, right?
Yes, it is being released on Monday. And I just want to say one final quick thing, and that is that the video was edited by a local guy by the name of Isaac Williams.
Yep.
He did a fantastic job.
And we'll send out a link to that video as well. Bob, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you kindly.
Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on?
They say they fight for freedom. There are no neutrals there.
When you stand with hatred, you do not stand a prayer.
Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? My father was an airman. He flew in World War II. He would not see democracy defiled by men like you. Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Oh, women, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can when your choices are dictated by some narrow-minded man. Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? I went to counter-protest 'cause white supremacy's wrong. They chanted hateful statements and we raised our voice in song. Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
In the corridors of power, these men of rancor dwell. But come the next election, we'll send them all to hell. Well,
Yeah, which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
which side are you on?
Umi kuphi wena, umi kuphi.